Sri Rama's Ayodhya was located there, and Sri Rama lived. He spent all his childhood on that Sarayu, eastern Sarayu of Uttar Pradesh, a tributary of Ganga. But much older than the Sri Rama, these events happened in the early Ṛgvedic, towards the end of the early Ṛgvedic period. The conflict between Sudas and the Puru, that is Samvarna Bharata, and their asylum in the Sarayu Sindhu region. And information is captured both in the Ṛgveda as well as in the Mahabharata. So that is the important, great significance of the river Sarayu. So that is what this Sarayu is all about. And then, okay, you have Asikni, I mentioned it is, later it was known as Chandrabhaga, and now it is known as Chenab River. So when you say Chenab, everybody understands it. Asmanvadi is a river in the Afghanistan region. It is one of the westernmost river mentioned in the Ṛgveda in Afghanistan. And Rishabvadi, I repeated many times, it's a tributary of Saraswati flowing to the south of the Varaprithvi or Kurukshetra, forming the southern boundary. Ganga doesn't need any introduction. And Ganga is mentioned as Jannavi in the Ṛgveda, and as Bhagirathi later in the Ramayana and Mahabharata as another name. All these things I mentioned about. And Gauri is another river which is flowing in the northwestern Pakistan. Is known as Panchkora now, and it's a tributary of the Swat River. And Swat River is known as here it is Suvastu. So yeah, here it is Suvastu is there. So there is a Swat River, that is a Suvastu, and its tributary is the Gauri or the Panchkora. So Gauri flows into Suvastu, and Suvastu flows into Kubha. That is another river. Yeah, here it is. It's a Kabul river. So Kabul, the name is actually derived from this Ṛgvedic river named Kubha. Kubha became Kabul. So it's the name of the river and the city in the Afghanistan. So you can see just an example of the Ṛgvedic practice of naming the river as well as the city with the same name. This is one reason, because many people ask this question, why the Ṛgvedic cities in the Ṛgveda is not very clearly having mentioned in as a separate name. Because our argument is that the Ṛgvedic geography as well as the geography of the Harappan civilization are the same. And in the Harappan civilization, you got so many cities. But why those names of the cities are not present in the Ṛgveda? The answer is this. So they have a kind of characteristics of naming the cities as a name of the river itself. Very rarely, like there's some names like Pastyavadi, then Ilaspada or Manusha. These are like it's a very rare that they name the places differently than the rivers. And Kabul city and the Kabul river, they are all they have the same name. So that's an example of the early Ṛgvedic practice of naming the cities with the name of the adjacent river. And all the cities are connected to a river, because without a river you cannot build a city because it's not like today where you can have all these vehicles like lorries, etc., taking material from far away places, etc. Every city requires a river, and the cities are all built on the banks of the river. And of course, in the later period, coastal cities start emerging where instead of the river, the sea is sustaining the city. So a river always requires a water body to sustain itself. So that was the early Ṛgvedic period. But that situation got changed in a later period in the Itihasas and Puranas. You started getting cities which are like further and further away from a river. And then they got distinct names. So the name of a city as well as the name of the river, they will be different. And that is the situation you see in the Ramayana and Mahabharata. So the Ayodhya is a city name, whereas Sarayu is the river name. So that kind of situation also came. So we have, and then you have the Gomati river. So again, just like Sarayu, just like Gomati, you have a Gomati river in Uttar Pradesh, which is a tributary of Ganga. you have a Gomati River, which is a tributary of Sindhu in Pakistan, and it is now known as Gomal River. So Gomal and Haro, that is the Gomati and Sarayu, which are tributaries of Sindhu River, which is flowing in the Pakistan. Exact mirror image, you have a Gomati and Sarayu, which is a tributary of Ganga flowing in the Uttar Pradesh. So the Uttar Pradesh and this particular Ganga and Sindhu are some kind of somewhat like a as far as civilization is concerned, they are like mirror images with Saraswati as the mirror, the axis of the mirror. So considering Saraswati as a center to the west and the east, the migration, there was a kind of equal and parallel migration from Saraswati to the east as well as to the west. That is why this kind of a geographical situation. So you have two river names, Sarayu and Gomati, as a tributary of Sindhu to the west of Saraswati, and exactly the same river names Sarayu and Gomati on as tributaries of Ganga to the east of Saraswati. So that river configuration also signifies kind of a migration which started from Saraswati to both sides, to the east as well as to the west. And the western migration, that is Saraswati to the west, to the Sindhu River, signifies the out of India theory. And that is the reason why we cannot, like there is no data in the Ṛgveda, and we cannot fit the Aryan invasion theory with the Ṛgvedic data. The data goes directly opposite to the direction mentioned in the Aryan invasion theory. And of course, if somebody looks at the data to the east of Saraswati, they may be tempted to connect it with Aryan invasion theory, because in the east, the migration looked from west to east. But this is when you look at closely, this is the reality. The migration happened from Saraswati to the west, which is the opposite direction suggested by the Aryan invasion theory. And the migration has happened from Saraswati to the east into Uttar Pradesh, etc., which looks like it is part of the IIT theory, but it is really not that. But there is a dual migration. That's the significance of Gomati. Then Haryupia is a local river in Haryana. That is, I will discuss in very detail subsequently. And Jannavi is another name of Ganga. Because the Haryupia is, for example, it is another name of Drishadpati. That is also will very clearly, like we will see in the subsequent chapters, but this is only an introduction. And you have Prumu, that is a Kurram river, another tributary of Sindhu. Then there is Pulisi river. This is another name of Trishadpati. Then Kushava, Kushava, that is now found to be not a river in a subsequent analysis. Marudvartha is a river that was there, but now disappeared. That is between the Jalam river and the Chenab river. That now got completely disappeared. So that we don't have any equivalent of that river today. And like that. And Mahatnu is another tributary of Sindhu river, which again disappeared. So some rivers, because of the river hydrology, got disappeared also. Parushni is the Chandrabhaga, the Parushni is the Iravati, Ravi river. This is again rejected. The Rasa is another synonym of Sindhu river. Then you have Sarapas is a part of Saraswati. You have Saraswati herself. Then there are some other rivers, Sri Lamavati, etc. That is part of the Sindhu river. Shifa river is again the Sahibi river, which is flowing in. It's a Delhi river, Shifa. And it is like a Sahibi, that is the later, now it is known as Sahibi, the Shifa. And Sushartu is there, another tributary of Sindhu. So just maybe just listen it, but you don't have to memorize this, because we will go into detail of these rivers. So whatever important rivers get recorded in your mind, others you just be aware of it like that. Then Sududri is there, that is Satluj river. It's a slight change in the name in the Itihasas like Shadadru, and then it becomes Satluj in today's. Suvastu, I mentioned Swat river. Then Svetayavari is another. It's another name of Svetya. It's a Gilgit river in Pakistan. That is a Pak occupied Kashmir Gilgit river. That is that river. Svetayavari and Svetya are the both the name. Then Tratsama is there. that is a tributary of Sindhu in the Kashmir Ladakh region. Urjayandi is there another tributary of Saraswati, then Purnavati and Vajinavati. These are all like related to the Sindhu river. Vajinavati is another name of Sindhu person in the Kashmir Ladakh region. This is rejected, and then you have Vibali, which is a kind of a older course of the Jhelum river. So Jhelum river is the river of Kashmir. It had multiple courses in the Ṛgvedic period. Oldest course is called Vibali, and the youngest course is called Vitasta. And Marutrita is actually another course of this Marutrita, which is now disappeared. That river doesn't exist now. Is another course of the Vitasta Jhelum river. So Vitasta had 3 flows. One is Vibali, another is Marutrita. Both the courses are now disappeared. Water is not flowing. Water is now only flowing through the Vitasta channel. That is why now Vitasta is also known as the Jhelum river. And these other 2 courses can be seen in satellite imagery, that is Vibali course, as well as this Marutrita course can be seen in the satellite images as dried up rivers. And you have Yamuna, and I mentioned Yavyavati, another channel of the Yamuna river. This is also dried up now. But today there is a Yamuna canal which follows the Yavyavati course. So whatever canal creators, what they did is they saw the pre-existing river and created a canal there, and that canal is the Yamuna canal, which you can see in the in Haryana. So that's I think a brief introduction to the river. So now you have the table, like subsequently you have a table. This table is basically the chronological sequencing of the Ṛgvedic rivers, but we may be taking it in subsequent in next session. So what is the significance of this table is that it has filtered some data which has to be rejected, which are not really rivers, so that we do a lot of full justice to the total analysis of the river. So whichever is even slightest hint that it is not a river, we have removed it, like these red colored things. Wherever the references are there, then we have removed it. This is a table in which each river is mentioned, the number of times it is mentioned, frequency of occurrence of the river name Saraswati in the Ṛgveda, and how much of it is in 6th mandala, 3rd mandala, 7th, 4th, 2nd, 1st, 5th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th. So this is a chronological sequencing of the mandalas. So in the chronological sequenced mandalas, how many times each river name appears? That is what we are plotted in this particular table. And then this table indirectly contain the counter to the Aryan invasion theory, because this entire data shows migration of people from Haryana to westwards into Punjab, into eastern Pakistan, western Pakistan, and finally to Afghanistan. So that entire sequence is captured into this table. And it is also like a very thorough analysis where all the spurious, even rarer, slightest hint that it is not a river name, that is being eliminated, like this red color. That is how it is. And this is a even more curated or filtered data, wherein the first occurrence of each river is mentioned here. So this is even more. This one is like only like very high intelligent people can understand that this contains the data opposed to the Aryan invasion theory. But this one is very, very clear even for a layman, wherein the 6th mandala you have all the local rivers in the Haryana, and of course Ganga, which is even further in the western Uttar Pradesh, which immediately a glance everybody can understand. Okay, the oldest people were in Ganga, Saraswati, local rivers in Haryana. And of course, in 3rd mandala, you can see again some local rivers in Haryana, like this is, and 2 rivers which is in Punjab. So Drashwadpadi, Apaya, and are the again local rivers in Haryana. Jannavi is again Ganga, but there are 2 additional rivers which are a little farther away, like the Bias and Satluj. That is Sududri and Vipash. That is Shadadru and Vipasha, or Satluj and Bias, which is in Punjab. So again, you see there is a slight migration to the Punjab region, because the between 6th and 3rd mandala, 2 new rivers are further into the west. Then you have Asikni, Parushni, etc. Yamuna, of course, it is a existing river. So for Ṛgvedic people, they are just mentioning all the rivers, different people gone, etc. So they are not concerned about out of India theory or AIT theory. But when you plot it, you see again there are two more rivers, which is Ravi and Chenab. Further than the Vyas and Satluj, in the seventh mandala it appears. So again, slightly westward. Then there is again Sindhu river is mentioned here. Then with Vidasta, the Jalam river is mentioned as Vipali here. And then Sarayu and the Rasa again, and the another name of Sindhu in the fourth mandala. So by fourth mandala, they have reached the Sindhu river. That is chronologically. Sixth mandala, they were in the Ganga and the Haryana region. Then third mandala, they have slightly reached the Punjab because of Satluj and Bias. And then the seventh mandala, they crossed India. I mean, what is currently India, then gone to Pakistan. That is Ravi and Chenab. Ravi is the river bordering India and Pakistan. Chenab is little more further west into the Pakistan. And in the fourth mandala, they reach these two rivers, that is Jalam and Sindhu, further into the Pakistan. Again, this is two local rivers, but second mandala is not a big significant because they shrunk into their home territory of Kurukshetra, to the south of Kurukshetra, in the Kurukshetra. They just they got some setbacks and then they came back again. Their activity was confined within the Saraswati region. So it's not concerned. Second mandala is not really playing a big role in the migration scenario. Again, this is a confinement where they confined to the south of Kurukshetra and Kurujangala, Shifa, Anjasi, Tulsi, and Veerapatni. They are to the rivers flowing in the south of Kurukshetra. So they got confined there. We will discuss in detail all of this. Again, in the fifth mandala, there is rivers to the west of the western tributaries of Sindhu. That is, they have crossed the Indus River in the fifth mandala, and they are now active in the western side of Sindhu in the fifth mandala period. And when it is the eighth mandala, you see now so many more rivers to the Swat River. So they have reached very close to Afghanistan now. And then ninth mandala, Gauri, that is the Panchkora tributary of the Swat River. So that means they are little more familiar with the western Pakistan. And the 10th mandala, almost every river, everywhere it is mentioned. Like including there is one river, Ashmanmadi, which is a Afghan river. So that means by the 10th mandala, and there are so many other rivers which are in the north side. That is the Gilgit region, Gilgit and then Ladakh regions. So by 10th mandala, they are everywhere. That is, they are in Haryana, Punjab, Pakistan, Kashmir, even eastern side of Afghanistan.